Good morning student, myself Professor Tawalchand Dharana, and we are continue on unit number 1 of cybersecurity subject. As my previous video lecture, we are discussing 3 different points through which we understand the vulnerability. First point, we are discussing what is the difference between vulnerability and risk. Second point which we are discussed in our previous lecture is management of vulnerabilities. What is the management of vulnerability? And the third thing which we are discussing, what are the different cases where vulnerability it should be happen in a computer system. So guys, based on those 3 points, we understand the basic terminology or basic things about a vulnerability. In today's lecture, we will discuss some important concept of vulnerability, or we can say part of vulnerability is nothing but a open port. In today's we will discuss open port basic things. What is open port? How the open port scan it should be available? What are the different open ports available in a computer system and through which hacker can access our computer system? So guys, we will start with the basic introductions about open port. In a cybersecurity, the terms open port refers to a TCP or a UDP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, which should be useful for the dedicated connections, or UDP nothing but the user data protocol, which should be helpful for the wireless network. So it should be refer port, or we can say open port like a TCP or UDP ports, number that is configured to accept the packets, because your connection is either maybe a wired or either maybe a wireless, and on the both the case it should be a packet should be transmitted between a network through one system to another system. In the contrast, a port which rejected connections or ignoring all packets is a closed port. Means what is an open port? It should be accept all the packets. As we know that if they are ignoring all packets or maybe a rejections due to a connection problem, then it should be known as a closed port. Ports are an integer or integral parts of an internet communications model. All the communications over the internet is exchanged via the ports. Means in a short way, we just explain that port it is nothing but the way through which packet should be transmitted on a one system to another system with the help of TCP or UDP protocol, or it is one of the entry point through which communication it should be happen in a network. Every IP address contain two kind of ports like UDP and TCP ports, and there are up to the 65,535 of each for any given IP address. Means there are the lots of port available in a particular two protocol like UDP and TCP. Service that rely on the internet like a web browsers, web pages, and the file transfer services like FTP, it is also part of internet services, rely on a specific ports to receive and transmit the information. As a basic term, we know that HTTP is work on 80 port number. So a web browsing is work on a 80 port number. So all the mentions services like web browsers, web page, or file transfer protocol, they have some reserved port through which communicate should be happen within the computer system. Once a service is running on the certain port, you can't run on another service on this particular port. It means we says that if some services is reserved on any of the port, the particular port is only work on those particular services. Means on a single port number, only one service is activated within the time. For example, starting Apache after you have already started Nginx on the port number 80 will lead to failed operating system, or we can say operations, because the port is already in use. Like same way, we just give you an example. If your mobile number is registered or it's working with some of the users it's never be allocated to any other user by the mobiles company. So somehow same thing or same case happened in a port number in computer system. If some operating system services reserve some port, then within this port number not any another service will be activated this particular port number. Open ports become a dangerous when legitimate services are exploited through a security vulnerabilities or malicious services, because a name itself suggests that open means anyone can access those port number and communicate with our system. So it is a really dangerous for a computer system, for our private data as well as for the network system, because if somehow hacker can access those open ports, then they are trying to communicate with our system, and if they found some any vulnerability against those open port, then without any permissions they can directly access our computer system. So malicious services are introduced to a system via the malware or a social engineering. Cyber criminals can use these services in conjunction with the open ports to gain unauthorized access to a sensitive data, because it should be a open one. So with the help of open ports they can directly access our computer system, or through which they can install some malware software, and based on those malware software they can affected our computer system. So open port is really dangerous for a computer system. Services that rely on the internet like a web browsers, web pages and the file transfer services, as previously we will discuss, is work on a specific port number. Now we will discuss why do attackers scan for a open port. As a general concept, we easily says that if they found those open port, then they can directly access without any kind of permissions, because its name itself suggests that it should be a open one, means through which they not require any kind of authentications. Attacker use open ports to find a potential exploits to run and exploit. The attackers needs to find a vulnerability. One of the case, through open ports they scan our computer system, and if they are successful unauthenticated scan, which we are discussing in our previous lecture, then they gain the results of unauthentication scan. They found two informations: operating system vulnerability and software vulnerability. And guys, if hacker found those two vulnerabilities, then you know that they can easily hack our computer system. So first case, they found a vulnerability using the open port. To find a vulnerability, the attacker needs to fingerprints all the services that run on our machines like a computer system, including what protocol it uses, which program implemented them, and ideally the versions of those programs. As previously we discussed, if a unauthorized scan provide the results and anyhow they gain those results, they can provide two things: operating system results as well as implemented software results. So based on those two results, they gain all the informations against a protocol uses, program implementations, and identifying the versions through which they can easily access or penetrate our computer system. To do this, attacker commonly rely on finding the public access port via the port scanning. First, they are performing the public accessibility, through which they found open ports, and if they found some open port, then they are perform a vulnerability scanning. Now, what are the common ports available is open in computer system? There are the many port scanners, some built to specific tasks, other include a continuous security monitoring tools. Those tools which we are discussed in this unit as well as a practical sessions. So in those kind of tools we are performing on a live session as well as on a practical session, through which you can easily find that how it's work and how they provide the results against a common ports number. No matter how you use them, understand port scanning is a must for discovering open ports, because the port scanning is nothing but providing the port number which should be open one and which should be registered with the closed port. So based on the results, hacker as well as legitimate user found that what are the different ports available in this computer system. The most common ports number are first FTP, known as registered with the 21 number. FTP, or we can say file transfer protocol, is used to transfer a file across the internet. Without FTP, we can't transmit a file with one system to another system using the internet. So FTP, it is one of the open port. SSH22, SSH, or a secure shell carried the task of remotely connections to the server or host, allowing you to execute a number of commands and move the files. Like SSH is used to communicate with the two different services with a chatting as well as transmitting file system, as well as they are communicating with help of different software as well as file transfer protocol. Third one, it is a telnet registered with 23 number. Telnet establishes a connections between a server and remote computer. Means we can say it is a centralized system where one server and lots of computer system is connected with this server with help of telnet protocol. Next one, it is a SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. Nowadays all the activity it should be work on mail or through the mail. So SMTP is one of the most open common port in nowadays. It should be registered with the 25 numbers. So simple mail transfer protocol ensures email message are communicating over the network securely. And I am not going to in detail what is email and how it's work, because at IT persons on a regular life we are using lots of email activity on our particular mail account. Now WHOIS is registered on a 43, used to obtain the registrations of ownerships of domain name and IP address. If you gone through the internet and type WHOIS on a Google, then you can gain informations about two things: domain name as well as public IP address. I think you tried these kind of things, so you can identify that it is the command through which you can found open port, and it should be really easy and interesting for you. So WHOIS is provide the informations against the domain name as well as IP address, but IP address is public IP address, not a private IP address. Next one, it is a DNS. It is registered with the 53 number. DNS or a domain name system use a relational database to link the host name of a computer or the networks to their respective IP address, like gmail.com. So .com, it is nothing but the host name which should be registered by the Google company, and the name is a Gmail. So DNS is one of the open port through which provide the informations against the host name as well as a respected or registered IP address. Next, DHCP, it should be allocated two different port. It may be work on 67 or maybe work on 68. DHCP is the stand for a dynamic host configuration protocol against IP address related information to a client on a network automatically. Like if we are connected internet in our computer system, then we have our private IP address and network service provider registered with the public IP address. So dynamic host configuration protocol assign a IP address, it should be registered on a global market, or we can say it should be provide a public IP address through which we can access a remote services. These informations may be compromised of a subnet mask, IP address and etc. Port number 67 perform the task of accepting address requests from the DHCP and sending the data to the server, while port 68 responds to the all requests of DHCP and forwarded data to the client. So they are registered with the two different services. If a request should be accepting, then from server to client, it should be work on 67. If server want to respond those kind of requesting to the client, then it should be work on a 68. So they are the two different port number, 67 and 68. It should be registered with the DHCP, and working of 67 is accepting the request, and 68 it should be responding those kind of requesting. TFTP, it's registered with the 69. TFTP is nothing but a trivial file transfer protocol. As previously we discussed, 21 is a file transfer protocol. A 69, it is nothing but the trivial file transfer protocol. Is a simple log steps file transfer protocol that allows a client to get a file from or put a file onto the remote host. Like we hosting our websites, means we have a lots of file which should be uploaded on a remote server. It's nothing but put a file on a remote host. So through the remote host or through the websites, user can access all the data which should be available on those websites with the help of internet. So that's why we need to put our all the data, all folder structures or the file on a particular host server. One of its primary use is in the early stages of nodes booting from a local area network, because if we are storing our file and folder in a particular system, then no one can access those websites. But if we are putting our all the folder structures and file on a remote registered server, then publicly it's accessible and user can easily access through the web browser and internet. That's why it is known as a trivial file transfer protocol. Now, one of the common and most important port number which we are going through this on a day-to-day regular life is nothing but HTTP. It's a 80 assigned to a web servers and directly associated with the hypertext transfer protocol. In short, we can say that any of the system, any of the services which we are accessing through the web browser, it must be work on HTTP. So it is very common, useful port number, and it is open port. POP3, it's registered with the 110 number. POP3, or it's known as a Post Office Protocol version 3, is used by email clients to retrieve data from remote email server. Means if you are logging your Gmail account and in your inbox you found 10 emails, it's work based on POP3. Means based on POP3 they can retrieve your email from email server to your computer system. So it is one of the open port. SFTP is known as registered with the 115. SFTP is nothing but a secure file transfer protocol, is a separate protocol package with SSH, which we are discussed for the remote services, that work in a similar way or a secure connections. Because when we are discussing SSH, it should be known that if somehow unauthorizedly user can access our computer system, they denied for those kind of activity. Same way, if somehow some user or unknown users can access our data, then SFTP, it should be denied those kind of activity which should be accessed by our file system. So it is work on secure file transfer protocol. Next one, it is a MySQL 3306. Guys, if you want to those services like MySQL on a live session, then please install the XAMPP server and start MySQL services. So they can directly allocate it 3306 used by MySQL database. And I think you are clear about what is a MySQL. It's used for backend services, or we can say a database. Whenever we build a web applications, at that time on a backend process, or we can say storing our data, at that time we are using a MySQL database, and this particular MySQL database is work on a 3306 and it is a open port. Next, a TeamViewer 5938. Nowadays big organization is using this team viewer for meeting purpose, for communicating purpose, for file transfer purpose, as well as remote access through which they can access remotely of any of the client machines. So team viewer, it is also the useful open port number which should be registered on 5938. A proprietary software applications for a remote control, desktop sharing, online meetings, web conferencing, and the file transfer between a computer. On this kind of pandemic corona, the team viewer is one of the best software through which all the activity performed within the work from home, because it is really needed nowadays, because all the organizations are shut down, but they are not shut down his or her work. They are distributing work with the employee, and through this team viewer software they gain the access and perform the online meetings. So those points which we are discussed in this 2 to 3 slide, it is an open port, and lots of port we are using regular and day-to-day life. I think now you are clear. If you are web surfing on any of the websites or web browser, you are performing a 80 or we can say HTTP, and it is open port. As previously we discussed, open port is really harmful for our computer system. So I think now you just clear that what kind of service if we are using on our computer system, then what are the policies is required to deny those kind of services which work or performing request on those particular open port. So that's why we are discussing different common ports, or we can say open port. So now I think you are aware about those kind of open ports number. Now last, how do open ports affect a confidentiality, integrity and availability? In a previous 2 slides we are discussing so many open ports. Now we discuss if the open ports is happen in our computer system, then they are accessing some confidentiality, integrity and availability. So we need to focus on those security which should be performed by open port. Let's see. Confidentiality, how the open port is affected a confidentiality. Open ports and the program listening and responding at them, because we know that through the open port anyone can access our computer system, can reveal information about the system or the network architecture. They can leak banners, software versions, content, the existence of system itself and what type of system it is. Because is previously we says that hacker found first a open port or information about open port. If they found the open port is available in computer system, then they are performing a vulnerability scanning. If they are performing a successful vulnerability scanning, then they can gain all the access which should be mentioned in this slide as well as which we are discussing previous one. So if they are gaining those services with help of vulnerability scanning, means we are losing our confidentiality. So first case, I think you are clear about how the open port is affected a confidentiality. Now we discuss integrity. Without open port controls, software can open any credentials. Open port software can open any candidate port and immediately communication on hidden threat. This often relies upon for legitimate programs as well as different types of malware. As previously we'll discuss that if hacker can access our system, they just install those kind of malware through which they can gain the informations, they can gain our habits, they can gain the day-to-day activity which use in further for hacking our system. So if open port is found, then how the integrity it should be lost for our computer system. And the last, for the today's lecture, we discuss the availability, how availability is affected with help of open ports. Your network and the services running on the open ports still processing incoming traffics, even if the requests are invalid, because the name itself suggests that open port. Open is nothing but they provide the requesting. If we are ignoring those requests, then it should be really secure for our system. But it is open port, then we can't deny those kind of requests. It should be invalidate or validate because it perform on a open port. This can result in denial of service attack, or we can say DOS attack, which we are discussing in unit number 5. I just give a brief idea about DOS attack is nothing but to perform a traffic on a system through which hacker can busy our system, and on the particular time, on a busy of particular time, they are just accessing our data because a system or a computer system identified that a request is original or not legitimate. So for this they are performing lots of traffic using those kind of open port, and our system is busy to identify legitimate and unlegitimate requests. On between those period of time, hacker can access our system. So based on open port, if some open port is found, then a confidentiality, integrity and availability is the most prior thing of a security concept, or we can say most prior parameter of security concept. We are losing it. So guys, now I think you are clear about basic thing about open port, different types of open port, and how we are lost a open port is found, then how we can lose a security parameter which should be prior in for computer system. I hope you are enjoy my lecture. Thank you so much.